Hello and welcome to EB-5 Investment Report. I'm your host, Amy Rios, and today we are joined by Bernie Truax, owner of Truax Development, a development company in Temecula, California. Truax Development is currently constructing the Truax Building, a mixed-use office building in Old Town Temecula that will house its corporate headquarters as well as other retail and office space. The project is utilizing EB-5 funding for its construction and will be a landmark project with a prime location near the I-15 freeway. Welcome, Bernie. We wanted to talk about your mixed office use building in Old Town Temecula. Can you tell us something about that?
Well, it will be the headquarters for Truax Development and my charity, which is called Riverside Recovery Resources. It's a four-story building. It's first phase of 4 that we hope to build out over the next probably 5 to 10 years. It's 70,000 square feet, and the architecture of it is to look as if it were built at the turn of the century. So although it'll have all the new technology of today, it'll have the look and the charm of an older year. A history of Temecula that would have grown naturally.
I see. So can you explain what exactly a mixed office use building is?
Well, the ground floor will be retail oriented. We have a planned restaurant, a large bank that will be on the ground floor, one of the older fashioned type banks where full service, and then a coffee shop atmosphere, which will occupy that ground floor. The next 2 floors are mixed offices, so it'll be attorneys, accountants, business people who want to function in the town atmosphere, and that 4th floor will be our corporate headquarters.
I see. So can you mention any names of the actual tenants that are going to be using this space?
Well, on the 4th floor with me is Don Alexander and Alexander Steel Sales. My company, Truax Development, our charity, Riverside Recovery Resources, and the rest of those people because of where we're at in one phase or another of negotiations, don't like their names released until they're done.
So what phase are we at right now?
We've got probably 50% fully leased and signed. We're 20 or 30% are still in final negotiations and space, what they want and their design, and until they're fully committed, I've been asked by the tenants themselves not to release it.
Okay. Does this involve EB-5 financing and funding investors?
Yes. Well, the investors are myself and my one partner in this deal, but EB-5 has done the construction loan, or what is sometimes referred to as a mini perm. So we have financing on there for the next 5 years at a minimum, and we can extend it to 1 more year, 6 years, at which point we would take it out with a permanent loan on the building and pay back EB-5.
So there are no investors, say from China, that are investing in this project?
They are not directly investing in the project. They've invested in the EB-5 Loan Center, who has made us the loan.
Okay, I see. Does this involve a regional center?
Yes.
And what is it, American Redevelopment Solutions?
Right.
Okay, and what is, what is their role with?
Well, they were the original, I'm not really an expert on the EB-5 system itself, although a reciprocant of the benefits. Ron Darling, it's my understanding, has the regional center, which covers all the legality and the work with the federal government to do that. Buck Johns and Tom Barnett have a center or an investment pool they put together inside Ron Darling's deal. So they're the funding agent and the controlling lender, which is, and I had to write that down because I can't remember these, Inland Investor Visa Group 8. And that is the funding group on this particular project.
Oh, okay. So their role is to provide the funding.
Provide the
I
funds.
understand. Do you know what loan model is used for this? In EB-5, there's a couple of different loan models.
We're purely a loan. None of the equity is shared with the loan, the construction loan.
Do you know how the Inland Investor Group finds their investors?
Well, they're actively promoting and telling the Chinese people about the project in China. And they have a core element here in the States that does so here, but they do regular trips to China. In fact, they're planning another one November 1.
You mentioned Buck Johns, and can you tell me exactly what his role is in the project?
Well, Buck is the CEO of that Inland Investor Group 8. And Buck, with his relationships at the State Department, I guess, and with Ron Darling and the Chinese group, have helped facilitate that and make it easier to do.
And can you tell me and explain to me, as the developer, what your role is?
Well, we developed the project in its inception, put together the core money that it took to get that land purchased, the design done, and took it all the way to construction drawings before seeking financing. And we are the managing partner of that investment group that is developing the building in its entirety. So right now we are under construction. We had a topping out ceremony of the steel just last Wednesday, and we monitor and manage every piece of this all the way to the end. I'm a very active owner, developer, builder, although we have hired a general contractor, Reno Contracting. They supervise the site operation, but we manage everybody.
So when can we expect this to be complete?
Building should be complete in June. It may even come in a little early, but it will at least be done by June of 2013. We're expecting to move in then.
Another question I had, I don't know if we already got into this, but do you have any pre-leasing for the project?
We're probably right now at about 70%.
Okay.
And all of those are, you know, are expansions to existing companies and our growth businesses. So some of them are new completely. Some of them are at least new locations for. So it's not a restaurant moving from one place to another place. It's a restaurant expanding another restaurant.
Now, you said that that they were still going to China to seek investors. Are there open investment slots?
Well, we have at this location 3 more phases. And at another location, which is called our Creekside Corporate Campus, there's literally about 4 major phases that'll build out at almost 2 million square feet. And it's a corporate campus meant to attract expansion of large employers whose employee base may be actually Marietta, Temecula, or Southwest Riverside, but currently driving to places like San Diego, Ontario, or Irvine. And so as their company expansion occurs, we're trying to attract that with Marietta and Temecula to get those corporate campuses to expand in our community.
Now, do you have potential investors come to tour the project to see if this is something they'd like to invest in? And if so, can you explain how that works?
If you're speaking of the Chinese investment, the EB-5, yeah, and I know there's a mix. Everybody uses the word investor. They're an investor in the lending pool, and we treat them as such. The city of Temecula has been very helpful in hosting a number of receptions at City Hall, and where we've put on, or had the city put on, an overview of Temecula, its management, its fiscal stability, how they like the project, or what we're doing in Old Town. And they have hosted probably 5 or 6 of those already, which has been very helpful. It gets people up to speed, and it makes the link between developer and community so that they're comfortable knowing that the community wants what's actually going on.
All right, now going back to Buck Johns and his role, why do you think he believes this is such a great investment opportunity?
Which? EB-5 or our project?
Your project.
Well, I'm not totally sure. I can guess at some of it and what Buck had told me. Buck was looking for projects for EB-5 placement and was given our name as a quality development company who had been there for a long time, that was stable, that has a strong reputation for doing exactly what we say when we say it, based on our relationship with the two cities and the two processing communities of those plans and stuff. Buck was convinced we were probably as good a developer and contractor that he had ever met. So I like to think that that's why he came there. Now the projects on their own are also very stable and are in the path of progress. As one of the Chinese investors that we toured properties with quickly ascertained that the properties we owned in both cities were right where you would want property in both cities. That we were not just in the game, but we were on the front edge of the game.
All right. Well, thank you, Bernie. With EB-5 investments obtained through American Redevelopment Solutions and the EB-5 Regional Center program, the Truax building is slated to open in late spring, early summer of 2013. For more information on this project, simply click on the icon to your right. I'm your host, Amy Rios, and I want to thank you for watching this edition of EB-5 Investment Report.